Are you ready to learn what red flags keep an eye out for when looking for love?
Then we got you covered. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Alex.
And this is the podcast where we unpack reality TV and call out the bullshit.
So that you show up confidently while dating and in relationships. Welcome to Ditch the Script.
I love it.
Hey.
Bang reveal.
Oh, yeah. Ta-da! Hi, guys. I got bangs. I got bangs.
And she's stable. She's stable and she got bangs.
Yeah, I was sober. And this came from... I actually sent a video to Bree the night before I did this because I took my little hair clips and bobby pins and did some makeshift to see if I would like the vibe. And I liked it, so we went for it.
We went for it. We said green light. Go
All my
for
parts.
It. You were
like, here's my Britney Spears moment, except in a controlled way, controlled and intentional way.
Absolutely. I feel like there's this trope around getting bangs, which is usually like, are you okay? Did you do it with like kitchen scissors?
Yeah.
Like, how are you? Post breakup, which that one is true.
That was true. 2 months or 3 months, geez, since April, post breakup. But I just really wanted a change. I wanted more personality, and I had a professional take their shears. So, it's not Alex in her bathroom with a razor, which I have done before. I have done that.
Yes.
In high school.
But also, can we stop doing it? We have to if you still feel the urge in the morning, sleep on it and then call and make an appointment in the morning.
Yeah, it's like Ghostbusters.
That's all you gotta do.
Call a qualified professional.
Please. You wanted more personality, but you already have the personality. You just you wanted your hair to reflect it.
Exactly. I needed my hair to get on board with the rest of me. So that's what happened. And I was telling Bree too before we hit record today, also with the desert heat, having less hair is personal AC. So it's been great.
I'll be honest, I've never wanted to shave my head more since moving to Florida.
Yeah.
Never.
You're like, screw this mop I have on my head.
I know. Every day I think about it, I'm like, don't do it. But every day I think about it, but don't do it. I don't really have the head shape for it. I think that my parents left me on my back a lot when I was a baby. And so it's a wee flat back there.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so interesting. I never would have thought
I would ask them, but they don't remember anything from my childhood.
They pretty
much blacked out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Parenting.
Yeah, exactly. Especially I was the second, so it was like a blur. They're like, I don't care. Shut up. You're alive. Stop talking to us. Stop asking questions.
Love it. I have a really fun story for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh my God. Okay. So we had one of my coworkers. He is transferring in the company down to Austin, Texas, and it's so sad because we love him and he's the spiritual junkie like I am, always had his crystals on him, just a super cool dude, so good at his job. So we've been celebrating him a lot this week, and so Friday night after his last day, we all went out to one of the local bars here. And Alex doesn't drink, but that night she drank. And I did it again.
No, it's okay. What did Alex do while she was drinking?
So I had one beer, and then by the way, this was a lot of the folks that came were in F&B too, so they throw back hard. So everyone was buying each other shots and things, and so I had a beer, I had a shot. And then they brought me another one after I told them no more, please. I'm good. And I had half of that and then passed it because I was like, I know my limits. This is my limit. No mas. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I got a ride home. I did not drive home that night because I'm going to be a responsible adult. But here's what happened.
Good idea.
I met a man.
Okay.
Okay. And
what?
No, wait. Let me tell the story. So I'm there. Bree's like, shit, where is this going?
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. This is great.
Okay, I'm ready.
Strap in. You're in a safe place. It's an okay story. So
Seatbelt.
I'm there, and I am like letting loose. Like, this is not like a dancey bar, but I was dancing. You know, we're playing
I
pool.
love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't give any fucks. Like, I'm going
no,
around,
me neither.
and it's so fun because like some of the other department heads that were there who I haven't like ever seen outside of work were there, and they like were dancing with me. It was just like, you know, I was being my spazzy, true to Alex self, having such a fun time.
Love it.
And then one of my coworkers, one of her mutual friends, shows up, doesn't work with us, but he ends up hanging out with the crew just because they know each other. And so this guy, like, full transparency, I thought he was gay. So like we're having, because, you know, I live in Palm Springs where like, you know, 9 times out of 10, that's usually, and he had a very like,
someone's queer.
Yeah. And he had like that kind of air about him, you know, with what we're talking about. So we start talking about life, the universe, and everything. He, somehow my breakup with Jordan comes up. So I was kind of like talking to him about that. And, you know, I'm like the first one to leave because I'm like, it's 11:30. Like, I gotta go. I can't hang until like 2 a.m. Like, you know, let me go to bed. So I go to leave, and he's like, can I get your Instagram or phone number? And I was like, yeah, totally. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
And so I give him my phone. He puts his number in. I'm not thinking anything of it, which apparently I guess I should because I'm not used to being single. But I guess that's like how people ask you out low key in a way. I don't know.
Kind of. Yeah. Like Instagram connection is like the soft launch to like a texting communication. I have something to say about that, but we can get to that later. Yeah. Please. So tell me more.
He puts his number in my phone, and then I guess he calls himself. And I'm full transparency at this moment. I'm like, what's your name again? Because I did not remember his name, you know? But he was like a sweet dude. So I was like, and I'm like, you know, I'm in the market for a friend group. So like, yeah, let's be friends.
Yeah.
So
and you were having a good time.
I was having a great time. So he texted me yesterday. Oh God. By the way, can I just say this? If you're a guy who listens to this show, please do not text someone at 8:36 p.m. on a Saturday asking them out for a drink. It's not okay.
Oh, no.
It's not okay.
No,
Don't do it.
I'm either busy with plans or my plans are I'm home.
Happening, yeah. And or I'm home and I'm not
I've committed
going
to
out.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I've committed to my plan to be home.
Okay, I was wrong time. I was 2 minutes off. 8:38 p.m. Okay.
Big difference. Big difference.
And so, yeah. And by the way, this guy also very much was like negging me when we were talking. He was like, because I had told him what I did and I had a drink and a shot. And he's like, I think it's hilarious how you help people heal their trauma and you're here drinking. And I'm like, why? Like, why?
Whoa.
Exactly. I was like, well, first of all, I'm very transparent about what I do. You know, like I do smoke weed. I do have the occasional drink, which by the way, first time I've drank since you and I were in Vegas, have not had a single anything. Like I don't drink. So I did not appreciate that.
Your experience with your trauma and your healing and the work that you've done has very little of a relationship to do with alcohol.
Yeah.
You specifically. Is that true for everyone? No. But is it true for you? Yes. And this person, like, you don't know shit about me.
Yes. And so, and I thought, I think this is true with like, and you being a therapist, like I'd be interested to know, but I think that so many people have this idea of like any kind of mental health expert. It's like, you are this like, and how do you feel about that? And have no life and you don't do anything like that. And you're this boring, talk about your feelings at home person. And it's like, for those of you who may think that, it's not true. People are people and this is our, you know, our jobs and we love our jobs and we're still allowed to be humans and like have a drink if we want or smoke a joint if we want.
Absolutely.
Like, come on.
Absolutely.
Like,
also,
what the heck?
To be honest, I'm off the clock. So mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
So, and I wasn't that drunk. Like, I remember every conversation I had. Like, again, I cut it off early because, like, I have been to a place where I've browned out before and it's not a vibe. I don't like it. I don't like feeling like crap the next. So anyway, I know my limits is all I'm trying to say. So he texts me at 8:38 p.m. and he's like, I don't know if you remember me, but it's Aaron. And I was like, he goes, wanted to ask if you're free tonight and would like to get a drink. And so I sit with this for a second because I'm like annoyed and frustrated and like, why would you text me this at 8? But like the answer is no regardless. Even if you hit me up at a normal time, like I'm not dating. Oh, okay. I felt like I made that clear to him. Obviously I was talking to him about the breakup I'm like just went through and like all that stuff, you know? And So I wrote it. I'm like, well, obviously, I'm going to do what I always do and just be straight up because I'm a full believer in like open communication. So I wrote him back and I was like, trying to be funny at first. I'm like, hey, Aaron, of course I remember you. I wasn't blacked out. And I said, I hope I did not come off like I'm dating or interested in that way. I'd love to be friends, though. I hope you can understand. You know, and he wrote back and was like, no, you didn't, but I'm interested and wanted to take my shot. I do understand, and thanks for letting me know. And I was like, I totally respect that. So I wanted to share that because, one, I applaud him for being respectful. When I shot him down, he like took it. There was no like passive aggressive, like, you aren't even giving me a chance, like none of that like pressure.
Right.
I feel like in the past when I was single and I have sent that text before, sometimes I would get that response.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Really proud of him for like just owning it. And
Erin,
really,
we're proud of you.
yeah, and me, I'm really proud for being like, you know, hey, thanks but no thanks, you know.
Yeah. I'm glad that you did that. And I mean, I'm glad that you said that even before he made it abundantly clear that him inviting you out was about like a date. You know, because I think that sometimes people in your position are like, is it presumptuous for me to like reject this person on the premise of a date if they haven't really like been that direct about it like that? And it's like, the answer is yes. If you get a vibe that this person is trying to get to know you in that way, and you already know that you're not interested, whether it's because of that person specifically, which it sort of sounds like you would have felt that way about this person specifically, even if you were dating, because it's just like the way that he was approaching you was like, okay, we can battle a little, but like, don't come for my behavior and my character, because that's fucking off-putting. It's off-putting.
Yeah, and for a minute, it made me get in my head. I was like sitting there, like after that, I like sat and looked at another girlfriend who was there, and I was like, this isn't bad. Like I like needed that validation from a girlfriend. I'm like, wait a second, like I'm fine. Like this isn't a problem.
You're
but
fine.
Like making someone feel that way, like where they have to like analyze like their choice for the night, when it's like I'm such an intentional person that like I very rarely, like I haven't felt like that in so long. I haven't felt questioned in so long. So it was an interesting like moment of like, no, wait, I'm not going to let you make me feel this way. Like you're putting that on me. I don't know what your story is, but like that ain't mine. So
yeah, that's so interesting. I can't say that I've had anyone ever like challenge my, I guess when you were mentioning like, you know, people in a mental health profession, or coaching of any kind, which is like, basically, do you practice what you preach 10 times out of the day, every single day? Are you a martyr? Are you perfect? Do you never do anything unhealthy? And the answer is yes. I do shit that's unhealthy all the time. I go to bed with my phone in my face every night. Like, am I allowed to be am I allowed to be imperfect? Am I allowed to be a human being? Am I allowed to be drunk on a Friday night with my friends, having the time of my life? You thought that I was wasted. I was just in my fucking power.
I know.
That's what you mistook.
Like I do this sober. Me. Yeah, like I'm
exactly
off
like
the walls like this sober.
Exactly. I am like a half step away from full sobriety, and you mistook it for drunk. That seems like an issue on your part.
Blacked out. Yeah. Dude,
yeah, exactly.
It was like, oh my gosh. So that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Like people make those, some people can make those assumption of like, oh, you know, you do something with mental health, you must like never kick back. And it's like, that's not true. And
bitch, I kick back.
Yeah. And it's like, and do I have boundaries and awareness around like the choices I make? Yes. But like, just because I do one thing doesn't mean I'm never allowed to drink again. Like I just, it was weird. Yeah. So anyway,
really interesting.
I wanted to share that story because it was the first time I've been like openly hit on since, you know, in that way.
Mazel tov.
Thanks.
And that was before your bangs.
That was before my bangs.
We're about to take these bangs for a spin, baby.
Yeah, I was not dressed up all cute. I was literally in like jeans, a white tee, and a side braid.
But your essence is cute. Your essence is cute.
Yeah, my vibes.
You have great vibes. I love and live for people who are out with people that they enjoy and they're clearly just like in the moment having a really good time. And I don't even really care if that moment is sponsored by alcohol. If you are like having a good time at a place and you've brought life and energy into that place and to the people around you, go off, kings and queens. Go off.
It was a great
I
time.
love that.
It was such a great time. Yeah. And then a lot of us that were out Friday were working yesterday at the hotel. So we all like had lunch together and we're sitting there drinking Gatorade. Honestly, my hangover wasn't bad. I was really proud of myself because I drank a lot of water. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So all good. But I love those people. They're good people.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
And everyone's well. You're well now. You're
so
back
well.
in the world. You can feel good. You have energy. You're not getting the life kicked out of you by COVID. So we're here for it.
I will say I wish the coughing AM and PM attacks would go away. That's like the last bit. But other than that, we're solid.
We're on our way.
Hey, baby. Yeah, we're doing it.
Should we dive in?
Let's dive
to our Love Island journey.
Yes.
Splash into the pool. What a week.
What a week.
What a week. I know we're going to get into like the series of things, like one drama filled moment to the next, but I just want to quickly mourn the loss of our cherished Antigone. Sorry, she's not dead. She's alive, but she was kicked off the island.
Yeah. You did not deserve that.
And I'm so sad. She did not deserve that. I think that they made a mistake.
Agreed. So do all the girls. The majority of the girls.
Yeah, they were very surprised.
They were not stoked about it. Yeah. I understand what the guys were thinking. And we'll get into that because we'll get into that.
We have a Danica review.
Yes.
We have a Danica review coming.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, I just had to shout out to Antigone because Antigone, we really love you.
Yeah.
And we think that you're special.
Yeah.
And we hope that your singing career pops off and you get everything that you deserve because you're a badass bitch.
Yes. Let your goddess self shine.
Oh, such a goddess.
Such a goddess.
I've never enjoyed seeing someone's torso as much as I enjoyed seeing hers.
She's amazing. Yeah. I love her.
She had a rockin' torso. Okay, let's.
You have a rockin' torso. I'm gonna say that. Let's come up with a book of awkward compliments. That'll be number one. You have a rockin' torso. Hey, girl,
you have a rockin' torso.
Like a pool party in Vegas, and you're like, "Hey."
Oh my god, sick torso.
That torso,
I love the back
though.
of your knees. Have you ever noticed the backs of their knees?
No, Brie. I love these. Keep going. What's next?
They could be sexy. Oh,
I guess we could do kneecaps then. Okay. I do feel like I notice people's kneecaps.
Calves? Oh, kneecaps.
Yeah. Yeah, kneecaps.
Not knee. I don't know what a kneecap is.
I do love calves though. I have complimented a woman's calves before.
I've complimented male calves for sure. Yeah. Okay, wait. What is it that you like about kneecaps?
No, I just think think they look different on people. Yeah, it's kind of like some people have like rounder kneecaps. Some people have like almost like very skinny, not noticeable kneecaps. I feel like mine are pretty oval in shape. My kneecaps. I'm gonna look at them now. Yeah, I would give them a squoval shape score.
A squoval.
Square oval.
What a
squoval shape.
What an incredible word, squoval. I'm obsessed. I love that so much. That we could add that to the book of awkward compliments. I love the shape of your squoval head.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
I'd say that my kneecaps are built. They're girthy, like they're built to last.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Okay, I have a question.
I love them for it.
Hold on. I have a question. This is like sidetracked. Sorry, you guys. This might be another long episode, but it's important. What is important. Like your favorite feature on a guy's body?
Ooh, I love. I feel like I need to stand up, but
the V.
I love no. It's like the hip. It's like where the hip, torso, the bottom of the torso, hip, not necessarily groin because that feels like down under, but like like the pelvic region.
Yeah.
Something about the way that like pants hang on there gets me. Really gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
Love it.
What about you?
I'm an ass girl. I love a juicy ass. I will squeeze my
Good
guy's
pair of
ass.
buns.
Yeah. It's like, is that weird?
Yeah. No, oh my God, not at all. I feel like
I
that's
love
like
a
one of the
good
more
booty.
normal. That's
But,
one of the
like-
more. I said pelvis. Okay.
No. I don't know if it's normal because I've never met a girl who's like, yeah, like I love a juicy ass. Like I will compliment a guy's butt. I'll be like, you have a nice ass.
I definitely take notice of male butts that stand out to me as like butts that I
would
like.
squeeze.
Like 100%. That's honestly, it's one of the main motivating factors to go to the gym for me is because you're going to see a lot of juicy booties on everyone. It's juicy booty
God,
heaven.
I love this. Yeah.
Juicy booty heaven.
That's good to know. That's hilarious. That actually almost, that's interesting to me because like so many women are like, please don't look at me at the gym. And then it's like where they're like,
no, girl, I'm looking, but I'm also liking.
Yeah.
You know? I'm looking, but I'm liking.
you're like, look, if you're going to do those deadlifts in front of me and you're going to bend over like that, look.
The best butts that I've ever seen in the world are at the gym. The best butts in the world.
I mean, that tracks.
They're not on Instagram. They're at the gym.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Ugh. Anyway, every booty is a good booty. Okay.
Sorry, I was just dying out of curiosity. And I saw a couple cute butts this week on Love Island with them, so I was like, ooh, you got a good tushy. You know?
Yeah, good tush.
So.
Wait. Number one Love Island tush for you so far, where we're at.
Jax.
Ah, he does have a nice tush. Yeah.
By the way, I 2 episodes ago, when I was still very sick with COVID, I listened back to our episode and I noticed the whole time I called him Jacques, even though I very much knew it was Jax, and I was like, what? That's COVID brain for you.
Well, there is something. No, because the way that it's spelled is French. So like you're inclined to pronounce it as Jacques because it's clearly a French
That's
name.
true.
But
I knew
I
it was
think that like
Jax.
I feel like they're saying it wrong, even though that's his name and he should have priority. But I do feel like they are saying it wrong. You know what I mean? It's like the Brits. Okay, but in the spirit of correcting our past episode behavior,
Yeah.
I said this on our Instagram, but last episode I was telling that like meaningful story to me about mirror work, and I was talking about Kristen Stewart, not Kristen
saw that.
Stewart. It's not Kristen Stewart. It's Kristen Wiig. I'm like, yeah, she got into the business. Like Kristen Stewart has literally been in the business since she was a child. Kristen Wiig was doing mirror work. I don't know if she knew she was doing
she's
mirror
great.
work, but that's what she was doing.
Get it, girl.
Oh my God. I couldn't listen to it. I was like, Brianna, what are we doing?
We all make mistakes. Ain't no thing.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
Now I'm ready. Now that
Let's
we've
do it.
talked about butts and Kristen Wiig, I'm ready.
I feel better.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I feel better. Okay. So where do we start? We start, the first like dramatic moment of this week happens when, Dami is doing he's like talking about party tricks. This is how you know the folks on Love Island are bored, because the little clips of the things that they are talking about is always like the back of the brain thoughts. You know what I mean?
They're really digging.
So yeah, they're really digging because what is there to do for 8 weeks? Okay. So Dami basically has this party trick where he can like, read people's minds, and he does like an assessment of, Ekin-Su and how she feels in the villa and where she's at on her love journey. And then he reads Gemma, which it was kind of interesting to see because Gemma is quite stoic and quite difficult to read at times.
Yeah.
And like there's this assumption that Luca likes Gemma more than Gemma likes him, and Gemma is more likely to have her head turned by another person than Luca would be, and she just sort of doesn't really confirm it enthusiastically. She was just like, "You're not far off."
Yeah.
And then we see Ekin-Su pretty much immediately, or it's edited to look this way, leave this conversation
and go tell somebody. After Dami literally was like, okay, and this stays here. Like, let's just respect. Like, they both were like, let's just keep this to ourselves. There's no reason to, like, go talk about it. And immediately she goes, or like Brie said, it's edited to look that way, to Jax and Paige to tell them what just happened.
Yep. And she says it as in, like, I've got hot gossip.
Yeah.
Did you know that Gemma felt this way?
Yeah.
And you know, she's not an idiot. Like, the thing that you got to give Ekin-Su is that she has lots of wits about her.
Yeah.
She's a smart girl.
Yep.
That's why if someone's able to be calculated at all to any degree, it's because they're intelligent.
Right.
They can sort of place moves before things have happened because they are so dialed into everyone's motivations that they can predict that if I offer this information, I can expect that this might happen next.
Yep.
Right? So she knows that Jax and Luca are like best friends in this space. So she says, and she knows that Jax is going to be like taken aback by this and want to warn Luca so he doesn't look stupid.
Yeah.
And then it starts a whole motherfucking thing.
Yeah. And she purposefully like leaves out all of the context that Dami gives to what he said, and she just boils it down to like Jem's head would turn is like all she says, instead of it being like, because Dami had all of this, like, if there was a guy that you 100% clicked with and like gave all this extra back info, and she leaves that part out. So it's like,
of course she does.
Yeah. So Gemma then, after she is alerted about this, tells Dami, and Dami validates Gemma and is like, I have your back. Like, if anyone, you know, if Luca comes to you, like, I'll tell him what I said, because they both agree that, again, the context was removed. So, of course, Jax tells Luca. Gemma pulls Ekin, and Ekin initially denies and belittles and gaslights Jem and Dami about what took place. And then finally, like, they end up, you know, everyone coming together basically and like talking this out. Luca pulls Gemma for a chat, and he's so anxiously attached. He's like looking for Gemma to validate him and basically tell him what he wants to hear. But Gemma's being a little bit defensive instead of validating him. So like, this is something that I think a lot of people, including myself, need to master, because when someone brings something to us, we're very much like eager to go into problem solving mode and like figure out like whether we're defending something we said or did, or we're like, well, this is what we think you should do about it, right? Instead, we need to get good about validating first, because it allows the other person's defenses to be diminished.
Dropped. And then they can listen.
Exactly. They can hear you. That's exactly what I was going to say. But Gemma like struggles to do that, because at first she validated him and said something like, look, I like you a lot, Luca. And like, I don't see my head turning. It's just that what Dami said, he said, if someone came in here that was like 100% your type and and I can't say with 100% certainty that I wouldn't be interested in getting to know someone, right? But that doesn't diminish my feelings for you. And right now, I'm invested in you, right? So it's like, you know, that would have, I think, allowed the conversation to go over better. They end up making up anyway, so it's fine. But I did want to just say, because we see this a few times, validate first and then actually have the conversation.
Yeah. And I think, especially if that validation is coming from your place of truth of like, hey, listen, I want to restate how certain I feel about what we're doing. Like, I know how you feel about me, and I hope I've made it clear how I feel about you. And if I haven't, let me do so now. I think that you're great. I love our connection. This is what happened.
Yeah.
Right. Because Gemma's getting caught up in the like the logistics of the conversation, which she has every right to do. She's she's honoring what did happen. She's not trying to lie about how it happened, but she's trying to honor her intention and her thought process, which she's allowed to do, because everyone has a different perspective on what we believe is supposed to happen, everything to start, and what we believe is supposed to happen once you're so committed to someone and you like someone so much. A lot of us feel that there's this rule that like, if you like someone, you shouldn't be attracted to other people, and you shouldn't want to see other people, and you shouldn't be curious about other people. And then there's others, myself included, and probably you, that feel you can like someone and feel really committed and still be like, yeah, of course, I'm sure that there is a possibility that there is someone who is even better suited for me than I could possibly imagine. But you know what? I haven't met them. And the person I have met so far, I feel really good about.
Yep.
Really good, you know? And so those two things shouldn't be mutually exclusive, but that's where the two of them are stuck.
And it's
like Gemma's like, they're not mutually exclusive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
I agree. But Luca can't hear that because he's so nervous. He's nervous about how he looks to others.
Yeah.
And he's nervous that this means that Gemma is not as invested as he is.
Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people who are still very much acting out of their anxious attachment style can struggle with, because it's like, when you're anxiously attached, that person becomes your world. It's like, I'm never going to be attracted to anyone else but you. There's no one else in the world better suited for me but you. Because they're so like clinged on and tunnel vision on that person that their way of trying to guarantee relationship success is to be in that way, like in that mindset, in that energy of like, you're the one for me and no one else can compare. Like, I'll never have feelings. I'll never be attracted to anyone else. You're it for me. And so really what that is they're projecting their desperate need for security onto the other person. Right. Mm-hmm. And so but you know, as someone heals and as someone understands like just human nature, you know, we need to get out of our own way. We're fucking animals, okay? And if you look at the animal kingdom, do you think they give a damn about who they procreate with to keep their species going? No, right? Like they mate with who they mate with, and like, yes, some species mate for life, amazing. Others don't, right? Dolphins will have casual sex, so it's like cool.
And I love them for it.
Excuse me. Yeah. And the reason I'm saying this is like, we need to understand that there's this primal instinct in us to have sex with one another. That doesn't mean that we're in love with them. That doesn't mean that they're a better partner for us or anything. It's just this natural inclination that we can't get rid of because of how we're wired as a species. And so that's what Gemma's basically explaining here is like, it's not realistic for her to admit that, you know, I'm 100% sold on Luca and no one ever is going to turn my eye, you know, but both can be true. I can still have fierce love and appreciation for someone while still being like, yeah, that guy's hot too. Yeah. And he's kind of funny, you know,
without you freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. So it's like both can be true. That doesn't mean she's going to leave Luca. Right. And, you know, same for all these other couples. It's like, you're allowed to like, have attraction. Now it's what you do with that matters, you know, and how you handle yourself. So
definitely.
Yeah.
There's another part of this sort of moment that plays out that I wanted to highlight, which is what it was like when Gemma pulled Ekin-Su to sort of resolve the issue. She basically was like, Ekin, what did she say? What did you say? She's trying to get clarity on like, how did this grow into a thing that it wasn't before? And Ekin is just sort of like, I don't think I did anything wrong because I'm just repeating what was said. First of all, you were asked not to. Yeah. Second of all,
you aren't accurately repeating.
And you aren't. What was said. Yeah. What do we know about the game of telephone? Here's the thing that I learned in school really, really long time ago, which is that like even our memories, anytime we are retelling a story or recalling something that we just saw, it will never be as accurate as it was in that moment. Mm-hmm. Every retelling of any moment ever, whether it's our own memory or someone else's, will always change. It will always change. So no, it's not just you repeating exactly what the fuck you heard. It's you taking bits out of context, delivering it to someone else. You've created a new level of this conversation because you've also added the intention of, I want to tell you something I feel like needs to be said. Did it need to be said? You know? So, and all the while, Paige, Gemma is like, why would you do that? She's trying to like basically tell her it doesn't make sense why you did that because look at what I have to deal with now. And Ekin is gaslighting her, being like, you should chill. You need to be chilled. Like, like this isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so gnarly.
The whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And you want to know what I think is so funny? Ekin confided in Gemma about her kiss with Jay on the terrace. If Gemma went and told Davide, by the way, Ekin went up to the terrace and snogged Jay, Ekin would have lost it and been like, mind your own business. That's not yours to tell, like, da-da-da-da. But Gemma didn't do that. Gemma was like, I really suggest you don't go talk to him now about it. Ekin didn't heed her advice, and that whole situation went down the way that it did. So, again, this golden rule of, like, treat others the way you want to be treated comes up again. And so it's, to me, like, this isn't her, like, you know, accidentally or, like, not thinking does this, which is what she's trying to claim. It's very much intentional in my belief system and, like, watching it all play out. I believe that she used Jackson Paige to triangulate with Luca and Gemma as a means to try and sabotage the relationship. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And for, like, what reason? I'm not sure. Not sure.
It's very
she
much
bored?
Yeah, boredom, and also if she's not happy, no one else can be happy. Like, those kinds of people tend to be like that. It's like if they're dealing with drama, they want everyone to deal with drama. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, we had a big issue with that. Then we sort of just continue to see, well, we see Tasha turn down Charlie for good, even though she'd been turning down Charlie since the moment he approached her.
Yeah.
And it's hard at this point because Tasha is now, I do believe, still making decisions based on what she wants and thinks is best for her, which is like choosing a partner that she's had a really good connection with and enjoyed being around. But she's also now keenly aware of how everyone else thinks about her behavior and her choices. She's not just aware of how other people in the villa feel about it, but she's now also aware of how the public that are watching the show unfold feel about it. And it's definitely getting into her head. And so I think that it's sort of leaving room for this, like, this curiosity to brew in the house and in the public of like, is she staying with Andrew because she wants to be safe? She wants to seem good? Or is she really actively choosing a partner that she thinks she can build with?
Yeah. I believe Tasha.
I don't know.
I really do.
Yeah.
I feel like she has been really honest and true to herself with, like, what she's been feeling, even with the Charlie conundrum that happened. And she's the first one. She tells Andrew, I want to be tunnel vision on you. It's not Andrew who says that first, right? So she very much instigates the exclusivity with them. Yeah. And I thought I like have in my notes, oh, cute, all caps, because I liked that conversation there because she started to feel a little insecure around being emotional and deep about, like, how much she liked him. And he was like, I want you to get deep. I like this. I want to be tunnel vision on you too. So it was great. Like, I thought that was a huge win for them. And what ends up happening later in the week makes me sad, but we'll get to that. But in that moment, they had a win, and I was really proud of them for being vulnerable with one another. Yeah.
Totally. Because it did like deepen their intimacy.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to come back to them. Then we also, sort of in the same episode, the same day, Danica has told Andrew that she's, like, curious about getting to know him and she's attracted to him and she would want to, like, have more conversations with him. And it's so funny because, like, the way that Danica goes about it is exactly that. She's like, well, you know, you're just someone that I'm initially attracted to. And so I just would love to, like, get to know you more. And it's just like, you're approaching, again, this is like the second or third person that she's approached that is, like, so clearly not interested in not getting to know her, but not getting to know anyone. And it's like, dude, read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room. And if you're going to really go for it with someone, be considerate. And if you're really going to go for it with someone, like feelings first, like, be yourself. I feel like she's constantly sitting someone down, sort of like a marketing team being like, and this is what we're putting on the table. Are you ready to buy it? It's like, maybe just connect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because it's like, how can you, I mean, and again, I'm interested to know, like, how much we don't see of this show, because it's like, is she having those connection conversations and we just aren't seeing them? Because it's like, how do you know you want to connect with them if all you are liking is their butt? Like, it's like there's more than just a good booty that you need. And I'm making fun of myself there, but it's like,
yeah.
Bring you. I fucking love you. Yeah, but she's like, you know, she sits them down and she's like, I'm attracted to you, so I want to connect. And it's like, but why is that? Why can't you connect and then be attracted? You know what I mean? It's like I said a second ago, of course you're going to see someone good looking. That doesn't mean that they're a viable candidate for you. So like, why are you going to interrupt someone else's connection so significantly when it's like, you don't even know if you really connect with them first, right? Like, that's a lot of risk.
Absolutely. And so what that does tell me, even though we are not, obviously we don't see everything, and they cut out a lot in their days on the show, otherwise it would never fit. But it tells me that she probably clings to the girls. That's why she's not connecting with these dudes, because she's probably not feeling super comfortable spending time with them on her own. Whereas like Antigone will like hang out with all 6 dudes, no problem, shoot the shit with them, laugh with them, doesn't need the girls around to feel comfy, cozy. Like, we really only see Danica hanging out with the girls, and if she's hanging out with the guys, there's like also the girls present.
Right.
So I think that I think she's wondering, like, why am I not connecting? Why is there not someone in here for me? It's only when she feels like she's like reminded that she's down to the wire and that she could be at risk, she starts like trying to get to know someone.
Right.
And it's like, babes, like, where was this work from day one? I mean, day one, she absolutely fucked up. Day one was like, I'm picking Luca, even though he was the most obviously unavailable person in the group at the time. So she shot herself in the foot, but then also like never made any commitments. And that tells me that she's probably a little bit scared, which is also supported by her actions of like being very like, I'm this, and like, I'm going to come steal your man, and I'm a lot to handle, and I'm this kind of woman. It's like, are you telling me these things because you really want me to believe it? Because if you were doing it, we'd feel it, honey. Yeah. We would feel it.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. She clearly likes, is attracted to unavailable men. Like and I think she sets herself up for failure in that way. And this is what I mean all the time when I'm like, your unresolved stuff will become a self-fulfilling prophecy if you don't confront it. So I'm interested to know, like, what limiting belief does she have? Or, like, is she emotionally unavailable to herself? Does she not sit with her own feelings? Does she not, like, know what Danica needs? You know what I mean? And then it translates into her, like, going after these guys who aren't showing interest in her in that way and are very much interested, actively pursuing other women. And it's like, you're gonna put yourself in that environment for what? Like, literally, you're choosing not an option that isn't really there. So it's like, it's fascinating to me to watch her, because she's a sweet girl, but it's like, where is this coming from? Like, I don't have any issues with her other than the fact that it's like, you're not openly considering where these men are at. It's just like, you just want to go for what you want to go for out of desperation to either prove your worth or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen enough of her. I haven't heard enough about her story to be able to connect those dots, but it is a trend that we can clearly see is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think for one, what's missing is vulnerability on her part.
Yeah.
Like, she's not opening herself up to the people that she could be connecting with to just show who she is and drop like sort of the showmanship of what she's about.
Right.
And I think it also comes from a place of insecurity, that I like, if you're going to continue to just sit and wish and hope and pray that someone's going to come in, but you have not taken the opportunity to actually get to know people, you are going to make tone deaf decisions on the show.
Yep.
Because you're going to get to a place where you're like, I just got to go for what I want and I got to go with my gut. Girl, you've been here for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, this is not that first day where you had a gut decision 24 hours to decide something.
Yeah.
You've had lots and lots and lots of time. Where is the, I hear what you're saying, where it's like, where is the self-reflection to say like, is there something that's going on with me that's made it difficult up until now for me to connect with the people that are here?
Yeah.
Is there something, maybe I've missed my chance with some of these people here, but is there something about what I can notice in this that could maybe help me in the future connections that I might make?
Yeah.
How would I do it differently?
Yeah.
Right.
And like, we don't see her even entertain again. And I want to give like the benefit of the doubt, like maybe this is edited out, but like we don't see her sit down with Charlie to try and get to know him who's available. We don't really see her try and get to know Jay when he's available. You know what I mean? Until it's like those last minute moments.
The fact is, that's how I know it's not happening though. Because the fact is the show's going to air the things that push the plots.
That's so
regardless
true.
of where the plot's heading.
Yeah.
So the reason why we haven't seen Danica is because there's nothing going on. Exactly. She's sort of way in the wings.
So
because
true.
she's not making, like they keep saying that she's making this effort, but she's making like really bold movements. Yes, but it's those down to the wire moments.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas, like you said, Antigone is like taking her time to get to know all the guys in her day to day and like doing it in a respectful way because all the girls love her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like really interesting to watch it all. It's like, what is going on? I wish we were there. Can we just be there?
Coaching.
Yeah. We'll have a
they
coaching
need
room.
sort of crossover episode where basically what they have is professionals that step in and provide relationship support.
Yeah.
They
And
desperately
individuals.
need it.
Like,
I get.
Danica, come see me, girl. Let's work on this together and I'll help you.
Let's have a session.
Make good, intentional decisions with who you're dating.
Yeah, I'm going to ask some downward arrow questions and we're going to get to the root of your core beliefs
I love it.
and your biggest fears. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so before we get to some of the game-changing moves, we have to talk about the heart racing game.
Oh my God, I hate
If you're unfamiliar with this, it's
so stupid.
It's where the girls take turns with the boys. They put on they do this every season. They put on sexy like outfits, costumes, whatever, and then they have to do like a communal lap dance for everyone there. And the girls always like crush because like women are sexy and like also probably have sort of been conditioned to like take notice of like what type of movements do like men love and how do you like we've been trained on how to be sexy even before we've decided we want to be sexy.
Yeah, watch the fucking Carl's Jr. commercial. Yeah, you're good.
Ooh, yeah. It's like we're selling hamburgers.
Yeah. Like,
it's fast food. McDonald's has a clown.
Yeah.
True.
Fast food and a hard on.
So
Jesus.
yeah, super weird.
So weird.
And then the boys come and they have like so much more permission to be like silly, stupid, and funny.
Yeah.
And so basically like the plot twist of the game is everyone has a heart monitor strapped with like where I don't see it. And then they give results at the end of the game of who raised whose heart rate the most.
Yeah.
And it's very controversial because everyone gets all up in arms that someone who they're coupled up with, like their heart rate was not raised by them.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to talk about. I don't care about the dances, like whatever.
Yeah. They all
That's
look
what I
hot.
wanna talk
Good job,
about.
ladies.
They look hot. The girls are 10.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
This heart rate monitor shit, just like a lie detector test, it's not 100% accurate. And the reason for that is your heart rate can be dysregulated for many a reason, not just because you're turned on by someone. It can also be because you're extremely uncomfortable with someone.
Yes.
So it's like,
why don't they ever fucking talk about that?
because they're young and naive and like they, especially with the context of the situation, they make the assumption like, oh, your heart rate escalated because you think she's sexier than I am and you had more blood pumping down to your erogenous zones, when it's like, it couldn't be that. It could be, I'm super surprised, I'm super uncomfortable, it could be all these other things that are raising their heart rate, but because of the lack of education, they all make the assumption you think she's hotter than I am, which really fucks with Tasha in particular, and Paige as well, which I have a note in all caps here that says all these men need to validate their women more, because they're all trying to be like, you're so immature for thinking that. Like, they're very much trying to imply that, like, it's just a game, it's just a game. It's like, that's not helpful. Literally be like,
Yeah,
I get
agreed.
it. I understand why you feel that way. And let me tell you, I think you're the sexiest woman in here. I don't know what happened to the heart rate monitor thing, you know? Like, just say that. Don't try and deny them or belittle how they're feeling. Be like, I get that. That is awkward. That is uncomfortable. This girl's one of your best friends. And like, I don't know what that's about. I can tell you what I do
Super fucking
know.
weird.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. Men, validate your women. Women, we need to validate our men too. But, you know, there was a study shown by Your Tango.
There's a gap.
Yeah, 83% of women want more validation from their men on their own opinions and beliefs. So it's like...
Yeah. So the research says...
The research
validate
says,
us.
Yeah, please. You will get farther.
I agree. And I think like a little validation would go a long way. Sort of similar to the example that you used earlier. Validate, then clarify if you feel so inclined. If you feel like you need to express your truth, which there are a lot of different variations of what could feel true in this moment. Like everything you mentioned. I was nervous. I was surprised. I was scared.
Yeah.
Scared will raise your heart rate. And I would have been scared in some of these situations.
Or like feeling of embarrassment. Like that's, I don't know about you, but I get performance anxiety for other people sometimes. Like sometimes if like I'm watching something and I'll be like, oh my God, they're trying to be funny, but it's not landing. And I feel so anxious for them. I'm going to support you. I am here for you. Like I will feel that way. Guaranteed my heart rate's up right then. Does that mean I'm turned on by them? No.
Exactly. And honestly, some more controversial truths here is like I'm a human being. I wasn't expected to get turned on by everyone doing everything. And yet here I am. Like I'm a human being. Also another unconventional truth, but still fair. I didn't realize that I was probably going to get turned on by watching them do it with someone else.
True.
Can we leave a little bit of room for just being fucking human beings? I get it. It's our egos. Our egos so desperately need to feel safe, secure, and hear, like, it's you, babe. My heart rate and my dick, they all get up for you. Like, they all get up for you.
And you alone.
And there's, and you alone. And everyone else just limp dick. Silly. You know, and it's just like, I get that our egos want that, but can we give ourselves a little bit of a space to be able to be like, I can appreciate that my ego feels a little bruised, and yet can I implement a bit of logic, reasoning, and understanding that we are human beings and that this is a sexy game, and the whole vibe is intended to either exhilarate you out of fear, nerves, or horniness, and they will all have the same result. Yeah.
So I loved that the girls were like, you all look hot. We had a little make out moment between two of the chicks. I forget who it is, Paige and Tasha. I don't even remember. I think it was
Paige.
them.
Yeah, it was Paige and Tasha. Yeah.
So it's like, you guys are getting off on each other. So it's like, you know, to give your guys a break, give them a little bit of a break. Don't take it so personally, and understand, like, it's more than just, you know, turned on.
God,
their heart rate
it's so interesting that like no one gives a shit about like girls making out with other girls, even if it's sexually like charged. I don't see anyone being like, what the fuck, you, like, as if like those steamy moments or makeouts are also not valid. Like, people just register it immediately as like a party trick, and it's like, maybe she was into it in the moment, but
I mean, they all kind of were like, so group orgy, like they all were kind of talking about it. So it's like, oh my God. Garrett, I will say this. It's interesting to watch this happen between couples. Like, their culture, I feel, is more sexually open than Americans. So I feel like if this happened in Bachelor in Paradise, it would have been nastier. Like, way more arguing and fighting and drama. Like, I don't see the women in America in this context making out with each other and complimenting each other, being like, you look super hot. I feel like it's like, oh, let me push my tits up more than her, you know? I feel like there's more competitiveness. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know for me if it would show up in the like girl on girl action, but I do think that there would be more drama and more ego bruising just by even like the
Yeah.
slightest hint of openness to
Anything.
others.
Yeah,
Whoever it was.
exactly.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I like, it is true that like our American culture is just far more prude
Yeah.
than other countries, especially Europe, when it comes to sex.
Um,
Cheryl. Okay.
so Andrew and Tasha make up. Jax and Paige, I didn't really like that at first, but I guess they find a, stable area. And then we
Okay,
have
can
them
I tell you
recoupling.
one can I tell you
Yeah.
one thing that I really didn't like about the Jackson Page like
Yes.
thing? First of all, their body language and what they're trying to talk about are clashing with each other. Like Jax doesn't appreciate that Paige is like upset yet, so he like carries her over and she looks hot. She's in a bathing suit at night, which I guess makes it hotter than a bathing suit during the day. And he had like she's straddling him on one of the day beds and they're like she's at the same time they're trying to figure out why they're not meeting on the same page. The vibes
Yeah.
are off, they know it, but all the while in this whole conversation she's still straddling him. I would have disengaged physically immediately
Yeah.
if I had a feeling. And then all the while Paige is not being honest about the fact that she's upset. She's being really passive aggressive and she's just like, oh, it's just like your ex. It's just, your ex is in the past, right? Your ex is in the past. And she's referring to Jax's heart rate getting up for Gemma and vice versa. And it's just like, if you have something to say, even if it's an unpopular opinion, but it's a feeling, please, this person is asking you. He might
Yeah.
not like what you're gonna say, but he's asking you, hey, what's wrong? What's going on with you? What are you upset about? I can tell that you're upset. And it's this like teasing, you have to figure it out game that I fucking resent in us. I really resent it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's such a waste of time and energy. And like, same with, with your partner. If the roles were reversed, you would want them to just be straight up. You wouldn't want
Yeah.
them to be teasing you about it. So it's like, again, treat others the way you'd want to be treated. And she eventually gets there where she's like, he explains, like, obviously a memory came to mind from when we were together. And she's like, yeah, I get that. And she like ended up being very understanding of him, which was great. But they wasted how many minutes getting there when she could have been like, look, I get she's your ex. And at the same time, it makes me uncomfortable. That's all. Like, there's a part of me
Yeah.
that's curious to know if you're still pining for her. And if not, can you please
Yeah.
reassure me? And if so, let's have that
Yeah.
conversation.
They just like have a lot of work to do. If they're going to stay a couple,
Yeah.
which I like them as a couple. I do. I think that they like have matched energy and I think that they're cute and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like, if they're going to stay a couple, they really need to work on their conflict resolution. They really need to like, Paige needs to stop pretending that she's not upset when she is upset. She needs to stop feeling like it's a bad thing for someone to see her being vulnerable, especially a guy that she likes.
Yeah.
She has to sort of tackle and unravel that fear of being vulnerable. And I wonder if it comes from a place of like, if they see that I'm sad or if they can tell that I'm upset about something and it's read as like I'm giving them a hard time, they're not going to want to be with me anymore. It's like this fear of abandonment. That's
Yeah.
my assumption.
Now, I want to say this. Jax, don't call your partner pathetic. He called her pathetic. You're being pathetic right now. Completely
Yes.
uncalled for.
100%.
And
Yeah.
match their energy, because Paige, although she was very much like not being direct, she was chill in her tone, like she was calm, whereas Jax was very like pushy, like, come on,
Yeah, a
you
little
need to tell me,
hostile.
da, da, da. Very hostile.
Little hostile.
So it's like, that's not going to help her feel safe to open up no matter how much you push her to. So again, say, okay, I can tell that you're upset right now. And if you're not ready to talk about it, I respect that. I just want you to know that you're safe with me. And when you are ready to talk about it, because I care about how you feel and I want to know, I am here for you. Just pull me when you're ready. And then she probably would have been like, okay, cool, give me a little bit. And then later, or Jax could have inquired later, hey, babe, you ready to talk about it yet? Like, I just
Yeah,
want you
right.
to know, I
Right.
got you, right? But again,
Right.
there is none of that. It's always just that. And then you name call her pathetic, which is like, oh, instant boner killer. Like, that's not a vibe, right? So,
Yeah, agreed.
yeah, not okay.
Yeah, agreed.
Recoupling. Ooh.
Ooh, so the girls lead this. Okay,
Finally.
obvious things happen. Tasha chooses Andrew, Gemma chooses Luca, Paige chooses Jax. They get to reunite because they were not coupled up together in the last week.
India picks Dami.
India picks Dami. Ekin-Su picks Davide.
Yeah. Which isn't a surprise because, like, she's been trying to, like, hint at it in a very passive way. Like, she keeps trying to project it onto Davide. Like, I can get him back. I can do this. It's like, girl, you want him.
Yeah.
So
you want him.
Yeah.
You want him. But what's interesting is that Antigone says, she said this while she was in the villa, but she also said this in the After Sun interview, that Ekin-Su had not made it clear to anyone that she was going to pick Davide. Everyone sort of got the vibe that she was going to pick Charlie, which I can believe. I would believe it that Ekin-Su would, like, for the element of surprise, sort of make everyone else around her, like, assume that she was going to pick Charlie.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to hear. And then Danica, who, a little bit of context, had a conversation with Jay. She chooses Jay. Yeah. But she had a conversation with Jay earlier in the day that was like, hey, same thing with Andrew, with Jax, with everyone else that she's tried at this point. Hey, I'm initially attracted to you. I'd love to get to know each other. Tra la 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 la. And he could not have been clearer. He said, out of you and Antigone, if there was going to be a romantic connection that I would pursue, it would be with Antigone. That was almost verbatim what he fucking said to her. Yeah. And she's like, cool, got it. And then she chooses him. Yeah,
and then she, like, this is why selective hearing is a thing. And okay, so first of all, little science here. When we are feeling some kind of way in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response, there's actually 3 small bones in our ears that will tighten up and close. So I make the joke, like, selective hearing is scientifically proven because it's a thing. Mm-hmm. And so she chooses, because I guess shortly, excuse me, you guys are still with me on the COVID coughs. She chooses to hold on to the next statement that Jay says, which is something around, you need to do what's best for you, though, which is like, everyone's going to say that on this show. Everyone wants to, like, honor that for everybody, but saying it right after, like, I don't feel you in that kind of way. It's like, okay, you have to hear both sides, but she chooses to completely disregard the first half, which is I would be more romantically into Antigone, and chooses to only be on the, you need to do what's best for you, which is in her mind giving her a green light to pick him because that is what's best for her, because she doesn't see it with Andrew or Davide, right? So, I mean, Andrew, Charlie or Davide. So she ends up picking Jay, and it causes this whole conundrum, and she could not understand why, because she was like, he didn't fully say, fuck off, I'm not interested in you. But it's like, girl, why would you? He didn't need to say that. He straight up told you that he would have more of a romantic connection with Antigone. So why do you choose to freaking interject yourself into these weird ass situations?
Very, very tone deaf. Very, very, very tone deaf. It's like, and she herself. So what ends up happening is, Antigone is then left to couple up with Charlie, who is the only person left, and she's upset because Davide was coupled up now with Ekin. She was going to go with Jay, who the two of them had sort of reconnected after the thing with Paige sort of fell apart. Yeah, and like, maybe there would have been a little bit of traction built there, and maybe Antigone wouldn't have been in the same position that she was in, that we find ourselves at eventually. But she doesn't get a chance to do that because Danica is, like, not paying attention to anything but, like, the story that's going on in her own brain. Yeah. And so everyone's sort of upset. Like, Antigone is just sort of immediately reactive, and not in an explosive way, but she just, like, needs a moment. She needs to, like, vent about it. She's surprised. She's upset. She's disappointed. And then Danica is finding herself being like, am I missing something? And I'm screaming at the television being like, yes, you are missing so much. So much. That you are not paying attention to anything. And I would love to see what's going on in that brain. What's going on in her thought process? Like, what are you doing? I just think that she has no game plan whatsoever. And she's literally, like, spinning around, pointing her finger at the first the nearest person that seems hot to her.
Yeah.
Because she has nothing else to go off of because of what we were saying earlier. She hasn't actually invested in connecting with people, showing her who she is, getting to know who these other people are. And the reason why I believe that is because every time she does try to pull someone, it's always about, I'm attracted to you. I'm attracted to you. I'm attracted to you. That tells me that she actually knows nothing about who they are as people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, so eventually Antigone pulls Danica for a chat and apologizes for being frosty and immediately asks for a hug, which again disarms her, right? Because like, Antigone's such a gem for like, she handles it all so well. She picks Charlie, she immediately walks off and to feel her feelings and is like, I'm kind of a mess of emotion right now because like from her standpoint, she doesn't see a connection with Jay and Danica. So she's like, what is that about? And she was told by Jay, Jay very much was like, I couldn't have made it more clear to Danica. Like, I don't want her, basically telling Antigone to anticipate, like, we're most likely going to be coupling up. And then that just becomes like not the case. And so what ends up happening is Antigone, goes to pull Danica and right away, has that bid for connection with the hug on like, I don't want this to be like you versus me. Let's just move forward, right?
Squash it.
Yeah. So huge boss babe move right there. And then she admits,
and she starts with a hug. Which
That's
is sort of like what we were saying. Yeah. Reassuring.
Disarm her. So she did a great job there. And then she takes the ownership of like, I'm sure I came across really frosty and there was a lot going on and I'm sorry for that. Huge. Like basically coming to her hat in hand being like, this is my part in this and I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. I just needed to process. Right.
Yeah.
And so Danica's like, I love you. Like basically saying like, you're a great friend. At the end of the day, I am here for me. And Antigone chooses to respect that and very much admits like, I can't project who I am on other people because Antigone's basically admitting like if the roles were reversed, Antigone would have taken the back seat and allowed that connection, between Jay and whoever the girl was to progress. But instead, Danica inserts herself to, for her own desire. Okay, fine. And Antigone acknowledges that. She's like, look, I can't put that on you. We're different people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's okay, right? We're allowed to be different.
Yeah.
And again, holy cow, I have so much respect for her because damn, like it's such an awkward, uncomfortable position to be in, and the way she handles herself and the way that she communicates through all of this discomfort, like bow down. Like here is your trophy, Antigone.
Yeah, she's a rock star.
Yeah.
Truly.
For real. Meanwhile, Davide straight up tells Ekin, like, I don't trust you. Like, I need to take it slow. And I think Ekin is trying so hard to, like, push her agenda on Davide. The rest of this, like, Ekin Davide thing made me so uncomfortable. I wanted to throw up. Like, how it progresses and how she's, like, just love bombing the shit out of him. And also, like, triangulating Luca to, like, be her messenger to go tell Davide to give her a chance. It's like so disgusting weird. To me. Yeah. Well, it's
that
triangulation.
Was so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, that's how Alex feels. She just can't.
And it's interesting because I think that the boy, I'm trying to understand the thought process on the boys' side, or especially like Luca's. I think that they've been pushing this like Davide Ekin-Su joke for the whole while that like I'm just a little surprised that when Ekin-Su was like, hey, will you tell him this for me? That he wasn't just like, nah, girl, like you got some uphill climbing to do to make up to this person. Like you're on your own, babe. I wonder if because they've been pushing the thing that they were just like, let's make this happen for them.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I would have been like, sorry, girl, you're gonna have to take this one.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to take it.
Yeah,
you go. Good luck. Bye.
Yeah, for real. Like I am not gonna do your bidding for you. Like no.
Weird.
Time will tell.
That's a very like childlike like decision to make. A request. Yeah. Like, will you tell them that they should go out with me?
Yeah, it's so like, here's the note. Check yes or no. Like no.
Yeah, but like have your friend deliver it.
Yeah, have
And
your
then
friend deliver
like
it.
yeah.
Vouch for you, which is like Luca's like, you just interrupted my shit with Gemma. Why am I gonna vouch for you? Like, you know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. They get over things so quickly in that house.
I feel, a part of me is like they're just choosing to get over the Ekin drama because they're acknowledging what that is. So they're like, we're just gonna let her do her and like stay out of her fucking way. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see because it's mm-hmm. Like that's all I have to
Yeah.
say. I don't have much. It's just so icky and uncomfortable and like you said, childish. It's just yeah, yep. The end.
Yeah, and then there's some like serious courting on Ekin's part with Davide for the next like day or two,
It's
because we
disgusting.
have we have them like they get to go on a date, which to me it really shows the colors of like the show. The show really wants to put Ekin front and center because she is like reality television gold. Yeah. Because there are established couples that have not gotten a chance to go on a date outside of the villa yet, and usually they would have honored them.
I would love
earlier.
to see Andrew and Tasha get a date. Like
Me
a real
too,
one.
and Gemma and Luca. Like
Yes,
I really wish that
and
they
Gemma.
would go
I would
do that.
love for them to get a date too. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it
they
would
got
be-
the hideaway.
Yeah, they did get the hideaway. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I
It was
needed to
cute.
see this
Although,
with them. I like
What?
needed to see, and we start to see it too as the week progresses. But like Gemma warm up, like I needed to see the softer side to her with him because I did not get it. I've only seen her be so like cold towards Luca and so like mean girl in her vibe of like that's how she flirts. She's very like in that way that I needed to see.
I'm gonna
I'm
make
like,
you work for it.
yeah, I'm like I needed to see her like meet him in the emotions.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
glad that
totally.
I got to see that side finally because I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, give him a break. Can you love on him at all? Like,
I
can
know.
you like?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Antigone says this thing in the After Sun interview where she was like, it's no surprise that like Luca is obsessed with Gemma, but like Gemma also really likes Luca. She says she's way cooler about it. But what you and I see is like, yes, maybe you're like chiller and you're not so expressive with your affection towards this person. But what I want people to know is that you can lose people that way.
Yeah.
You can lose someone that you care about, even if you display affection in a different way or a more subdued way. If you have all of these feelings, but they stay really contained inside of you, and your person never really gets to know how you feel in any kind of way, if it's not physical, if it's not verbal, if it's not in any way that you show up, they are going to begin to assume that you don't care about them, at least not as much as they do about you.
Yeah.
And that's what leads someone to sort of like debate, like, do I stay? Do I go? Especially if they're presented with other options.
Yes. So I'm happy that I got to see that because I needed that. But yes, they they end up kind of going back to Ekin and Davide. Like she ends up like bending over backwards, making him a pancake, rubbing his hands. Davide makes her a coffee. Like there's very much there, like you said, courting, but I like to say Ekin's just straight love bombing because of how thick it is. And then the Islanders have to pick people to leave. Dun-dun-dun.
Well, so it starts with the public votes for their most compatible couple. You get one vote, and then they're left with the bottom three, which was Antigone and Charlie, Jay and Danica, and Tasha and Andrew.
Yep. So my vote would be Danica and Charlie. Oh, right. And then we end up sending Antigone and Charlie home. Sorry, guys. I'm going through my order in my phone. So I just got to that now.
So the Islanders have to pick, the girls have to pick which guy to leave, and the guys have to pick which girl to leave.
And so let's talk about the whole Andrew Tasha thing, because them being on the bottom like really puts Tasha in her head, because she's like, what do they see that I'm not seeing? And the
Which has
answer
been
is
building.
nothing.
That's been building as well.
Yeah. And I feel really bad for them because I think that they're fine. I believe Tasha in her commitment for Andrew. I believe Andrew in his commitment for Tasha. I think that honestly, out of all the couples there, they're probably the strongest because they've had very open, honest, like communication around Tasha's conflicted feelings with other guys who've been in and out. Andrew's been very upfront about how he feels about Tasha, and they've been doing their thing. So how did this, like, when you were seeing Tasha go through all her feelings and like insecurities around like, does this mean something? Am I missing something? How did that, what were you thinking?
Read. Yeah, I mean, I think that she's gaslighting herself because she's, and this has been building this like increased awareness of how she's being perceived. You know, she got sort of labeled as this like sort of villa harlot because people were coming in and she was giving them like a shot, which she honestly wasn't. Like she hadn't given Charlie. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so, oh my God. And it's just, there's no space for privacy to just like even have a waffle moment where like you meet someone, you have a good date and you're like, oh, like, how does that make me feel? There's no privacy. So you're going through it in front of all of these people that wear this crazy badge of honor for their friend and they're like jumping down her throat. And I think it's that community intervention with Tasha that's reading to the public, and the public is like, they must be right about her. She must be snaky. She must be settling. And you can see it in how everyone is responding. And so when that's reinforced in a public vote, it was already in her head, and now it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And what I really think is that all of the things that this couple, Andrew and Tasha, are going through that is making it so hard for them to just enjoy each other's company like they were at the start is because like you're not really seeing them both like feel like themselves, like the best version of themselves. And I think the villa and the public are thinking that's because of them as a couple. And I think it's because of all of the fucking negative pressure.
I agree. Like I'm really disappointed in the guys because they could not be farther away from the truth. And I can almost guarantee that the guys haven't talked to Tasha. By the way, Luca and Dami didn't fucking listen to Tasha when she was sitting there in tears being like, I care about Andrew and I'm a human and I'm allowed to have conversations with other people just like you are, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I don't think any of them really sat down and have understood how much Tasha cares about Andrew. And they're all just telling Andrew she's not as committed to you as you are to him. But then we see in Casa Amor, Tasha is straight up being to these guys like, I'm really solid with Andrew. What I have with Andrew is good. Even when they're pushing her, like, are you sure? And she's like, yes, I'm sure. And now, because of all these guys and these now new girls who come in and tell Andrew, like, we think you're getting played, we see Andrew lose it and almost immediately just like chuck out all of his feelings for Tasha. So I'm not excited about this week because I really think that they had a lot going for them as a couple. Like, to go the distance in the real world, they've had to have uncomfortable conversations, and they've done a damn good job of it. Yeah. And now it's all going to blow up in their fucking face because the guys are not being good guy friends and actually hearing Andrew.
They're in his head.
They're in his head, and then these new girls are compounding that for him. And we see in the preview that some shit goes down. So I'm like, I am bracing for impact as we go into this next week. I am sad because I think that they had a good thing going. And this is what happens when you get in your head and you don't have these direct conversations with your person and you allow other people to just all up in your mind. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like,
yeah, absolutely.
And also when you don't check your friends, it's like, look, love you guys. I know you have my best interest in mind. Tasha has told me how she feels about me. And I'm going to choose to believe her right now because I don't have a reason not to.
I'm going to need you to back off.
Yeah. This is my relationship to figure out. Yeah.
And trust me. Right. Exactly. And it's interesting because this is not just specific to these guys. It's not specific to anyone here in general. But we love to have an opinion of others' behaviors until it's about us. Right? We are so critical of other people. Like Dami, for instance, is so critical of Tasha's intentions with Andrew, someone that he cares a lot about, clearly. But he's so jacked up about being in this house with these new girls and is far willing to get to know all of these girls, and there is no extra pressure on what this means and how disrespectful that could be to India, someone who he has been in puppy love, can't believe this is happening, too good to be true land.
Yeah.
And then he's going to do all of this, but he's not going to hear shit about it from anyone until obviously everyone reunites, right? Like,
yeah.
Why is it that you have so much permission to be a human being, but this girl did not?
Yeah. It's
What's
really
the difference?
ridiculous.
Is it because she's a woman?
Yeah.
Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she was doing it like while everyone was together under these circumstances where that's literally the fucking rules? You can't leave the house?
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
For
I'd
real.
love to know.
For real. And so then Jax, we see something. I did not like what he said. Jax sits down. I can't remember her name. She's the cute blonde. What's her name?
Who cares? I have no idea. It could be Molly. It could be Molly.
Oh, yeah.
Or one of the other ones. Connie.
I don't know.
No, there's no Connie.
The blonde hair with the blue eyes and the red bikini, I think.
The short hair, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they're having a conversation and Jack says something that I really didn't like because I feel like it's misleading. But he tells her, like, you know, yes, I'm open. There hasn't been a girl who's walked in here where I've been like, shit, I need to get to know them. Completely disregarding his relationship with Paige, where he just sent Paige. A few of the guys did this. Andrew did this with Tasha, sent like his ring. So did Jax, I believe, and then Luca as well. So the three like most solid connections in there all sent this sentimental thing, and then they turn around and say these things. I mean, Jax, we haven't seen Luca do this, and then we see Andrew kind of like having his own little meltdown leading up to him kind of doing this, but we see Jax completely disregard it, and he's like doesn't even talk about Paige at all and what he has going on with her. So I'm a little sus.
I am also sus. I also didn't understand Jax's statement of we need a test. We need a test. Listen, babe, if your relationship is going to get tested, it's going to get tested. But putting that out there in a sea of girls who not only want to connect with all of you, but they also want to be on the show.
Yes.
They want to be here because it's fucking Love Island. Like,
yes.
People aren't like, you are a fool, especially with where influencing and social media is at this stage of our culture, our American culture and theirs. Like, you would have to be a fucking fool to just assume that everyone is here because they saw you on television. They were like, oh my God, me and them. Yeah. It's got to be us. No, babe, they're here for their fucking platform.
Yeah. For their clout, right? For the likes.
They want to stay. They want to do whatever and you're like, you're giving it to them because your dick is hard and you're excited and your girlfriend's not here.
Yeah. Yeah. This next week is going to be so intense, dude. I'm like,
I like love Casa more because there's like so much, it really does shake up things and it's like really exciting to watch. But oh my God, does it make me like really hate men?
Yeah.
It makes me really, really hate men. They got so carried away. The boys got so carried away, which is funny because when the girls had left and they didn't know where they were going, they just thought that they, like Love Island Productions and ITV had rented out a bar that they were going to dance at, whatever. Maybe they thought they were going to get like 2 new girls in the house and they would have a cocktail party and then everyone would come back together. They've done that a lot. The boys were fucking bored.
Yeah.
They weren't even able to enjoy their own company together.
No.
I thought that was really interesting. I was surprised to see that.
Yeah, they were like
bored. They were missing
them. Yeah, like what do we do? And then all of a sudden they get to the text that they're at Casa Amore and they're all like jumping in the pool, like going nuts, like fucking apes in a zoo, man, just like losing their mind. Which I thought was cute to kind of see like their camaraderie. I was like, I like they're all jumping on the bed, they're all cute, whatever. But it's crazy to me how quickly that switched from like we're staring at each other, picking our noses, like, so what happened to you when you were 10? Like, what do we talk about here? You know? To that change in energy. It was like, whoa, okay. Yeah. So girls equals entertainment for you. Like, that's what that.
Yeah, like, you guys, try getting a personality.
For
Damn.
real. Like, have a bros night. Like, I think that's so
Yeah.
hot. I love a guy who can have a good bros night. I really do. I value that in a partner. Like, I think that's so
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, and like go flirt with your guy friends, you know. Do I mean
Yeah.
like go flirt with other chicks at a bar? No, but I mean like have a fucking life. Go do the things that you like to do with your dude friends, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you want to go flirt, but nothing happens, and you want to come back and tell me about it, I could be down.
Yeah,
I could be
it's
down.
like okay, fine, you know, to each their own. I don't know. I don't think
That's
I'd want
me.
to hear
That's
about
me.
the flirting.
That's me. That's
I
me.
wouldn't want to hear about the flirting unless it was like this girl hit on me, but like you're so much better. Then fine, like I'm okay with that. But don't tell me that like you met a cute girl and you were like, yeah, if I was single, I would have given her number. The fight in me would come out. I'd be like,
No, so flipped. And this just might be like a kink of mine, but basically, it's like you tell me that a girl was like working hard to hit on you. And you don't have to make it about me at all. But she was working hard to hit on you, and you just like, you shot it down, you shot it down, you shot it down. Maybe you entertained it for a second, but you shot it down, and you come home to me and you tell me about that, about how attractive someone thought you were at the bar.
okay,
Tell
I
me
get
about
that.
it.
That I get.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I'm bracing for impact this week. I'm like nervous. What's going to happen for these? My heart rate is escalated and it's not because I'm turned on.
I know. No, I know. Me neither. Oh my God. And we don't even get a new episode until like Tuesday. It sucks
I know,
now.
which by the way, I did post about this on my story. I'm not okay with the Love Island schedule. Like, I'm off Mondays, like from my other gig, and I get to focus fully on my biz, but I don't get to catch up on Love Island when it's convenient
No.
for me. And then we have like 4 episodes that come out on a Saturday when it's like, oh my God.
I know.
Like, you assholes, can you release
There's-
more during the week, please?
I know. It is like a treat, like outside of the, like, what, Sunday and Monday, not having anything. It is a treat that, like, every day there's a new episode. I do love that.
Yeah, I know. I just wish it was more than one so I could catch
Yeah,
up
me too.
sooner. Okay, red flag,
Agreed.
green flag.
Ooh, okay. My red flag, honestly, it's Danica. It's Danica.
Great.
She can't read the room. She hasn't gone. Specifically, my red flag with Danica is sort of a play off of what we've been saying, which is that she is not giving herself an opportunity to actually get to know these people outside of
Yeah.
what they look like, which is surprising considering how long she's been there. It's also a red flag to me that she has not separated enough from the girls to like be vulnerable and really spend time with the guys and like let them get to know her. I really think that someone would have connected to her by then because they all find her attractive. They loved her little dance. So, and I did too. She was a great performer. She's fucking good at what she does. But listen, babe, the dance is not enough.
No.
You got to show you.
Yes.
You got to be who you are.
And
That's my red
let that be a message to all the women out there that feel the need to compete with this sexual energy of like, I need to be sexy. I need to wear the most provocative clothing to get my man. No, you don't, because Danica is a fucking dancer who does this kind of shit for a living, goes out, shakes her ass, and all the guys were like, she set the bar so high. She does not even have a couple. So and whereas Gemma comes out, not the most dancer-esque, kind of plays like a funnier type sexy version of the role, has a guy
seductive.
who cannot let that girl go. Let that girl go. Fuck. Let that girl go. Okay, we got there. So my red
That was so cute.
blah, la, 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 la. Yeah. We got there. You know,
I got it.
I need to do my
your
red
red
yellow
flag.
leather before the show. Unique New York. Unique New York. Yeah, all those theater exercises for enunciation. Okay,
We
moving
are also
on.
performers. What's your red flag?
Used to be. My red flag is the guys not validating their women, like, and you know, and that's a lesson for all
of them.
genders. Yeah, but
They all
please-
get red flags.
Yeah, all validate when in doubt. Validate.
You know what's interesting though? Andrew tried to do that. So after the dance heart rate game, Tasha is obviously upset. Like, she's really upset.
Yes.
And Andrew is like, babe, you're a 10 out of 10. He was like, I love the way that he said it because it doesn't make sense in like our language or like American norms, but he goes, your dance was literally a joke.
I know. I was like, I guess that's a thing they say over there. Because in America, that's like, fuck you. What? My dance was a joke?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But, you know,
but he was like, it was so unreal. It was so good that it had to have been a joke because there's no way that was real. Yeah. And so he tried, but she's not listening. Yeah. And he probably needed to he needed to probably regulate himself, invited her to be calm and still just to listen for a moment and then said it. And then maybe she would have heard it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is it's yes, communication skills are amazing because we can do everything right and our partner can still choose to be in their dysregulated, I'm not going to hear you, I'm not going to calm down state. That's on them. But outside of Andrew being the one to validate, which by the way, they were also the first couple to fix their shit at the end of the night. So I still think in the end he wins because good job. But yes, validate your woman. And if they still continue to choose to not hear you and all of that, that is a reflection of them, not a reflection of you. Right. So it's it's not a guarantee that if you validate, that means you're never going to have an issue in your relationship or the conversation's just going to magically be done. But what it does mean is it further allows your partner to feel safe with you to be able to have the conversation. Instead of you just meeting them with defensiveness, right? It's just a game, just a heart monitor. I don't know why that happens. Why do you care so much? That's not helpful ever. So yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, green flag.
Agreed. Okay. My green flag is for now, I think my green flag is with Davide for being the only person that is more keen on seeing Ekin's bullshit than anyone else.
I know. I'm really proud of him because everyone's pushing them to pushing him. And he's like, I don't know. I need to trust her. And I'm like, good for you for continuing to say that over and over and over again. Because he could have easily just been the guy's guy and just, fallen prey to the pushing and been yeah, sure. Okay, cool. I'm on the show. Let's just embrace it for what it is. You know what I mean? But the fact that he, every time it brought it, he's like, I don't know. Yeah, sure. She's a good looking girl. We laugh, we have fun together, but I still need to trust her if anything's going to happen long term. And I loved that. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
I think Davide's ego is at a 110. Yeah. But his values are also pretty high. Now, Ekin is calculated and quite charming. And so the effort that she is making is having an impact on him in the direction that she wants it to go. Mm-hmm. But I can guarantee you that it definitely was not enough for him to be closed off in this next week that we have coming up with the new girls in the house.
Yeah, and I also don't think it's going to be consistent. This is the beginning of the phase, the cycle. This is the beginning of the cycle. It's the love bombing part.
A tiger doesn't lose her stripes, babe.
No. My green flag is with Antigone and her disarming with Danica. Danica. She has such good communication skills and also is really comfortable in herself that even when she is annoyed or frustrated, she can choose to gain perspective and say this is what's mine, this is what's theirs, and I'm going to choose to live in the messy middle, right? And out of respect for everybody. I love that about her. Yeah. Great job.
Totally.
Thank you for being here and shedding your goddess light energy on this villa for the last week. We love you.
Oh, we love you. I miss her.
I know.
I miss her. Ugh.
Well, that's it for this week. At least Danica gets first pick. All the girls are supporting her, so I'm interested to see if she actually connects with one of these guys. I hope she does, just because it would be nice for a change in that dynamic as well.
I'm tired of people giving her a pass just because she's still here kicking.
I know.
At some point, you gotta change your game plan, Danica, or girls gotta get booted. But you know what? The Love Island producers are pretty good at sort of if they feel like someone needs to go, they sort of create an opportunity, whether it's the public or with the Islanders, the fire pit or something. They create an opportunity for someone to go. So we're gonna see it if it needs to happen, I guess.
For sure.
I'm so excited. We have so much Casa. We have so much Casa Amor to unpack next week.
I know, it's going to be crazy. How long are they in this Casa Amor setup? 3 days or a week or what?
A week. It's like a week. And at the end of the week, we're going to see them, who they choose to couple up with, whether it's their someone from the new house or if they stay coupled up, and we're going to see if their partners chose the same or different.
Okay, side note.
The best.
Can I say this, please? Why the fuck would they send the girls to a smaller villa? They should have sent the guys there with the new girls, because them girls were all moved in with their setup at the vanity. You know, girls travel with stuff. I guess they got sent their cases by their guys, so it doesn't really count. But I wasn't about that.
No. I mean, I think that listen, they've got a whole team of a production that's going to help carry all of their makeup, because those girls are not going to be on television without their like 7 layers of foundation and mascara.
I know.
It's not gonna happen. But I think that they do it because in the past they've always sent the guys to Casa Amor, and I think that they were trying to see if it created a different vibe, like where it put, you know, they always market it as like lads holiday, and like the men really act up, and the girls are always a bit more reserved. So I think they're trying to encourage the girls to like be on their gals holiday.
Okay, well.
It's more psychological than about the stuff.
I'm like, how dare you? Do you know how much of an inconvenience it is to pack this shit up?
Could you imagine someone packing a bag for you amidst that chaos of an upstairs?
I'd be like, do you know where
room?
I keep all my shit? Like,
no, you don't know. You don't even know what's mine. You're just seeing like little small 2 pieces. But you know what? They all share clothes anyway, so they're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I love how Jay was like, "Is this communal?" I was dying laughing when he said that. I was like, "That's a good joke."
A lot of their stuff is communal. Well, they're all like the same size too, so it's like whatever. Okay, good for us. We did it. I love doing this. It's so fun.
Yay! As I go on into the mic, it's nap time. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. If you don't watch our YouTube channel, you should, because you get to see our beautiful faces and my new bangs.
Yes.
And thanks for listening. If you liked this episode, please leave us a rating and a review. Screenshot it, share it to the gram or TikTok, and tag us so that we know you're listening. Love to see it. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Ditch the Script Pod. Did I forget anything? Oh, yeah, the good stuff. Ooh, I like this. Keep going. The question, if you have questions, she's feeling her instinct self. If you have a question you want us to answer on the show, visit our website, ditchthescriptpod.com. And if you want a free 30-minute session with yours truly, both Brianna and myself, you can apply to be on our show, www.ditchthescriptpod.com/podcast. The end.
Get it, girl.
Bye. Bye.